Welcome back to Buh! Today we're flipping the laws of physics upside down. What happens when you get rid of gravity altogether? Life on the International Space Station is nothing like Earth. Up and down don't exist, and even the simplest tasks become wild engineering challenges. I've always wondered about the little things you can't do in space, so I dug deep and made a list that'll blow your mind. Today, we're counting down 7 things you can't do in space the way you do on Earth. From eating lunch to sleeping, everything changes in 0G. Let's see how astronauts adapt and why these tasks are so tricky when you're floating 250 miles above the planet. Ready? Let's blast off. Let's start with food. It's one of the most basic human needs, but in space, even eating becomes a challenge that requires careful planning and innovation. Imagine biting into a sandwich in space. Sounds simple, right? Not so fast. What seems like a quick snack on Earth turns into a complicated problem once you leave gravity behind. The problem isn't the turkey or lettuce, it's the bread. On Earth, crumbs fall harmlessly onto your plate or the table. In space, they float, turning into tiny projectiles that can clog air filters, damage sensitive equipment, or even get into your eyes or lungs, creating a real hazard for astronauts. NASA learned this the hard way when an astronaut snuck a corned beef sandwich on a Gemini mission. Floating crumbs? Not funny. The incident became legendary, and it taught NASA a valuable lesson about the dangers of ordinary food in microgravity. The solution? Tortillas. They don't crumble, so astronauts wrap everything in them. It's a small change with a huge impact, allowing astronauts to enjoy familiar foods without the risk of floating debris. But it's not just about bread. All space food is engineered to be sticky or moist, so it clings to utensils and doesn't float away. Every meal is designed to minimize mess and maximize safety. Even salt and pepper are in liquid form, no shakers allowed. Granules would just float away, so astronauts use special dispensers to add flavor without risk. Astronauts rehydrate meals by injecting water into pouches, then eat straight from the bag. No plates, no mess. It's a system designed for efficiency and safety, where every drop and crumb is accounted for. It's not gourmet, but it keeps the station safe and the crew fed. Sharing a meal in space is about more than just eating. It's about teamwork and adapting to a new environment. So next time you make a sandwich, thank gravity for keeping your crumbs in check. On Earth, we take it for granted, but in space, every crumb is a potential problem. In space, every meal is a reminder that even the simplest things need a total rethink. Eating becomes an exercise in creativity and caution. Astronauts adapt with clever engineering, turning a potential hazard into a new way of eating. The packaging, the preparation, and even the utensils are all designed with safety in mind. It's a perfect example of how life in orbit is all about creative problem solving. Every challenge is met with innovation, and food is no exception. Even a peanut butter and jelly sandwich becomes a science experiment. Astronauts have to think about how every ingredient behaves in zero gravity. So, tortillas for the win, because in space, crumbs are the enemy. This simple swap has made a world of difference for astronauts' daily lives. Every bite is engineered for safety. That's lunch, ISS style. It's a meal that's been carefully thought out, from the ingredients to the packaging. And yes, astronauts really do miss fresh bread. It's a small comfort from home that's just not possible in orbit, at least not yet. Let's get personal. Imagine feeling overwhelmed, far from home, and wanting to let it all out. But crying in space is nothing like on Earth. The experience is completely different, and even a simple tear can remind you that you're not on your home planet anymore. Here on Earth, gravity pulls your tears down your cheeks. In microgravity, though, tears just pool up, clinging stubbornly to your eyes in a wobbly, floating bubble. The more you cry, the bigger and blurrier that bubble gets, distorting your vision and even stinging your eyes, making it hard to see or focus. There's no emotional release, just a strange, persistent discomfort that lingers until you do something about it. Astronauts have to wipe tears away with a towel because in space, they won't go anywhere on their own. You can't just let them fall. Surface tension takes over, making tears form perfect, sticky spheres that cling to your skin and refuse to budge. The same goes for sweat. It doesn't drip off your body, it just pools and floats, so astronauts constantly have to wipe themselves down to stay comfortable. Even basic emotions and bodily functions become engineering problems in space, requiring new routines and tools. It's a strange, sometimes frustrating reminder that our bodies are built for gravity and that we're visitors in a place that doesn't play by Earth's rules. Every tear, every drop of sweat behaves differently up there, floating and merging in unpredictable ways. It's a small but powerful example of how alien and unfamiliar space can feel, even in the most personal moments. Crying in orbit? It's not just emotional, it's a physics lesson. A reminder that even your feelings are subject to the laws of the universe. Even the most human moments are transformed, reshaped by the environment around you. In space, you learn to adapt, even when it comes to something as simple and universal as tears. Gravity, it turns out, is the unsung hero of a good cry. And in its absence, even your emotions float free. After a long day in space, you can't just crawl into bed. There's no down, so you'd float around unless you strap yourself in. Astronauts sleep in small pods, zipped into sleeping bags attached to the wall. No mattress, no pillow, just floating comfort. Some love the weightless feeling, others find it unsettling. To mimic the pressure of a bed, some use bungee cords for a sense of security. The ISS orbits Earth every 90 minutes, so astronauts see 16 sunrises and sunsets a day, total circadian chaos. To keep a normal schedule, the station uses strict lighting and closed window shades. Sleep in space is a carefully engineered process. You have to trick your body into relaxing, even as you float at 17,500 miles per hour. It's a far cry from tucking yourself in at home. Every night is a reminder of how much we rely on gravity for rest. In orbit, even sleep is a science experiment. And yes, astronauts really do miss their beds. The big question: how do you go to the bathroom in space? It's not as simple as just walking into a restroom and flushing. In the weightlessness of orbit, even the most basic bodily functions become a challenge, and astronauts have to adapt to a whole new way of doing things. Gravity can't help, so NASA built a high-tech toilet that uses air suction instead of water. This system is designed to keep everything contained and moving in the right direction, which is crucial when there's no gravity to pull waste down. For number 1, astronauts use a hose with a funnel, sealed tight to prevent leaks, and a fan pulls the liquid away. It's a process that requires precision and a bit of patience, since any stray droplets could float around the cabin. For number 2, they sit on a small can, strap in securely, and a fan whisks waste into a special bag. This setup keeps everything contained, but it's a far cry from the comfort of a bathroom back on Earth. It takes practice. There's even a training toilet on Earth with a camera for aiming. Astronauts spend hours learning how to use the space toilet properly, because mistakes can be messy and embarrassing. Urine is recycled into drinking water, thanks to advanced filtration. This closed-loop system is essential for survival, since resupplying water from Earth is expensive and limited. Yesterday's coffee is tomorrow's coffee. It's a running joke on the ISS, but it's also a reality of life in space. Solid waste is bagged, stored, and eventually loaded onto a cargo ship, which burns up in the atmosphere during re-entry. This is the only way to safely dispose of trash and waste in orbit. If the toilet breaks, it's a major emergency. Repairs are messy and urgent. The crew must act fast because a malfunctioning toilet can quickly become a health hazard in the closed environment of the space station. Every flush on Earth is a luxury astronauts don't have. In space, every drop of water and every bit of waste must be carefully managed. Space bathrooms are marvels of engineering, but they're delicate and require constant care. Even a small problem can have big consequences for the crew. Even the most basic human needs become complex in orbit. Simple routines from Earth become technical procedures in space. Specialized training is required just to use the toilet. Astronauts must master these skills before ever leaving the ground. The next time you flush, remember the astronauts and their multi-million-dollar space toilet. It's a reminder of how much we take for granted on Earth. In space, even going to the bathroom is a mission. Every step is carefully planned and executed. And yes, they really do drink recycled pee. It's just one of the many ways astronauts adapt to life beyond our planet. In space, skipping your workout isn't an option. It's survival. Without gravity, muscles and bones weaken fast. Astronauts can lose up to 2% of bone density per month. To fight this, they exercise 2 hours every day. The treadmill uses a harness and bungee cords to keep them down while running. There's a stationary bike, but you have to strap in or you'll float away. For strength, they use the Aired, a machine that simulates lifting weights with vacuum cylinders. No gravity means no real weight, so resistance is all about clever engineering. These workouts are intense, not optional. It's the only way to make sure astronauts can walk when they return to Earth. Every day, exercise is as important as any experiment. Floating looks fun, but it's hard work to stay healthy. The gym in space is a lifeline, not a luxury. Astronauts push their limits to keep their bodies Earth-ready. In orbit, fitness is mission critical. And yes, they really do miss gravity's resistance. No showers, no laundry. Welcome to ISS fashion. Water is precious, so washing clothes is impossible. Astronauts wear clothes until they're unbearable, then toss them as trash. New socks every few days, shirts weekly, pants monthly. Everything gets reused as long as possible. Dirty laundry is packed into cargo ships and burned up in the atmosphere. The station smells unique. Think gym socks, ozone, and burnt steak. NASA is testing antimicrobial fabrics and low-water laundry for future missions, but for now, it's all about rationing. Every outfit is carefully planned and packed before launch. No fresh clothes until you're back on Earth. The simple act of putting on clean clothes is a luxury in space. Astronauts adapt, but they definitely miss laundry day. Every piece of clothing is precious cargo. In orbit, even dirty socks are a logistical challenge. Next time you fold laundry, remember the astronauts rationing their last clean shirt. The number one thing you can't do in space? Breathe fresh air. The ISS air is recycled, filtered, and always the same. No breezes, no rain, no scent of grass. The station's life support system splits water for oxygen and scrubs out CO2, but the air smells metallic, like ozone and electronics. When new cargo arrives, astronauts savor the new car smell. It's the closest thing to variety. After a spacewalk, their suits carry the smell of space, hot metal, burnt steak, welding fumes. The lack of fresh air and changing scents can be tough psychologically. That's why the station's greenhouse with real plants is so important. It's a taste of Earth. No weather, no birds, no flowers, just the hum of machines. Astronauts are cut off from the planet's sensory gifts. The simple act of stepping outside and breathing deeply is impossible. Every breath in space is a reminder of what we take for granted. The connection to nature is powerful and sorely missed. Next time you step outside, take a deep breath for the astronauts. Fresh air is Earth's greatest luxury. There you have it. 7 things you can't do in space like you do on Earth. From eating to sleeping, even the basics require total reinvention in orbit. Which one surprised you most? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this, hit like and subscribe for more wild science adventures. Check the description for a virtual ISS tour and more mind-blowing space facts. Thanks for watching. See you in the next orbit. Let me know if you need further tightening or adjustments.